Good morning, everybody. How's it hanging? Yes, Kendi, I did get notified about the error in the podcast. I appreciate it. There's actually a lot of people that I have to respond to, but I did it so early and then we came to the studio that I didn't have time to actually message everyone. I did fix it.
What's crazy is that for some reason a lot of people noticed that, but the fact that I said Monday,
yeah,
I only got one text. I said Monday on Wednesday.
Well, because it's not as big of a mess up, you know? It's just a quick misspeak. It's not the whole segment was missing.
Wait, it was missing?
Nerd News wasn't there. I put the intro in twice.
Oh, I thought the intro was also there.
No.
Well, that was your Nerd News. Mm-hmm. Wow, so there were so many people that were just deprived of that amazing Nerd News.
I know. It was a good one. Some Darth Vader hot sauce.
You should have just left it and redid it.
Used it. Well, no, because I don't have Nerd News tomorrow, and then that's it.
May the 4th.
Yeah.
Fred, am I supposed to report mistakes I catch? I never do.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't know if other podcasts do, but we do. Especially because ours, we're trying to get facts right.
Yes. Well, the first person to normally report issues is your cousin Michelle, because she listens on the East Coast and she owns a bakery, so she's up at the ass crack.
She's up essentially the second it posts.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we'll get them from her, which is great, but unless it's an emergency, she'll call us if it's not posted.
Yeah.
10,
that's good.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
I still have a mustache.
I still have boobs.
Yeah. By the end of May, they'll both be gone.
Did you just want attention? The boobs were getting too much?
No.
Yes,
No.
that was it.
It's muscle and mustache May. That's what
There's no M words. Oh, mammies.
Mammies?
Mam.
Milk jugs? What else?
Wait, we were doing this.
What else did people call boobs back in the day?
So I actually have a video.
Honkers?
I have a video of Anthony that I have to post because he randomly said to me, and then I made him say it on camera. He randomly said, you should have posted your podcast on Tuesdays because then you could have called it Tits Out Tuesday. And then we were just sitting here going by ourselves, no one recording anything each day of the week.
Yeah, there was, what did we have for Friday? Flash 'em Friday? No.
Maybe.
Because that's because Tits Out Tuesday, actually, they are coming out.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's not
but still.
Whip 'em Out Wednesday.
And then you said Whip 'em Out Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then you said something about Thirsty Thursday.
I think I just said Thirsty Thursday. What would Monday be?
No, that was the one where I think we were Mammogram Monday.
No, that's not fun.
Yeah, we were. Heather's great point. Remember WOW Wednesday?
Yeah. That was what, Opie and Anthony?
Just those bumper stickers were on every car in New Jersey.
I think that was the last time that radio made something go quote unquote viral. Or you could not drive around the New York, New Jersey area, and I'm sure other parts of the country once the show was syndicated, because I think they were on Sirius XM at the time. Whip 'em Out Wednesday was huge.
And that was about boobs? Or queens?
You were supposed to put WOW on the back of your truck.
And women were supposed
and
to
you're
flash
supposed to. They're supposed to flash you. I don't know if anyone ever did.
Oh, that's...
Oh, Fun Bag Friday. I think that's what we said. I think we used Fun Bag Friday.
So apparently we are living a parallel universe to the guys who host the Basement Yard podcast.
Yeah.
And I think we might need to come together for a crossover episode.
Sure.
Because that's what I feel like is happening.
We should have him on Twitch.
But I don't know a single thing about them other than we're the same people.
Uh,
And we have all the same listeners.
I mean, I'd love to have him on. I'd love to talk to him and meet him.
Okay.
What else do we have? So we have Fun Bag Friday,
Yeah.
Tits Out Tuesday, Whip 'em Out Wednesday. We need Monday and Thursday. And we could go Milk Jug Monday.
I think Milk Jug Monday is where it's at.
And then Thursday. What do we have?
Oh.
Thursday. And Thirsty Thursday is the only thing I can think of, but that's there already. You know?
It exists. Throw them out Thursday.
Throw 'em Out Thursday is good. All right, on the list today, we have on this Throw 'em Out Thursday, we have Man or Bear, Stash Life, What Do You Wish You Asked, and Going to Japan.
I just ordered sushi from Japan.
I was thinking there's the song Turning Japanese.
I'm non-familiar. Is that a Pokemon thing?
No, who sings that? Isn't that a song? Bazoomba's Thursday.
It doesn't rhyme.
I heard Turning Japanese.
Lisa, please.
The Vapors.
What?
You never heard this song? Here. I'm not going to play it on YouTube because...
Oh, you do look like Ted Lasso. Oh. That's probably highly offensive.
No, hold on. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to play the whole song. But does anyone know that song, or is it just me? Yeah, that's an old song. Thank you, Linda. The video looks very old.
Well,
The video looks like it could be offensive. I don't know if the song was offensive at the time.
I prefer Post Malone. I just ordered sushi from Japan.
What is the name of that
Something
song?
about Jackie Chan and your man. I also have been thinking about bringing back Off Key Marie.
I don't know. Based on what I just heard, I don't think I want to hear it anymore.
I didn't put on deodorant this morning.
Do you have stinky pits?
They don't stink, but they're sticky.
Sticky pits.
Sticky.
Okay.
And it's hot as balls in the studio.
It is called Jackie Chan. Thank you very much, Jen.
I am just going to plug my headphones in, whoop, into my phone and sing. Like in the radio studio, it was a whole to-do. I had to go to a different room. I couldn't.
Well, it's because we had multiple people and...
No, but I don't know why we did that. Like, why didn't I just plug into my phone? I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, we made that way more difficult for... Oh, yeah, we made that way more difficult.
I don't know. Who knows? Thank you very much for the subscription, Angela. We appreciate that. 42 months and on an 8-month streak. I think the maximum you can be on is 44 months at this point. So Angela's doing pretty well.
Angela, how pregnant are you? How many months? Hopefully not 44. 42.
All right, what do we have first, Carla Marie? Man or Bear? This was you.
Okay.
What do we got?
Have you seen this?
No.
At all? You have not seen Man or Bear? I choose Bear.
Okay.
Okay? And that is very, very controversial.
Okay.
Because most women choose Bear. And men are pissed about
You're
it.
choosing Man.
Bear. I said Bear.
But you said most women are also choosing Bear.
Bear. Yes.
Then why is your pick controversial? What are we picking first off?
Because men are pissed off about this.
Okay.
So, this has gone viral, and if you just see random women tweeting or posting, I choose Bear, you're like, what is happening?
Okay.
It started with a man on the street bit, or someone just interviewing women as they walked by and said, if you were alone in the woods and lost, what would you rather come across, a man or bear?
Okay.
And every woman has been like, Bear. And at first it's like, oh, that's funny. And then I said, well, what would I choose? And I sat there for a second. I was like, Bear.
Okay.
Because,
what is the thought process there?
Okay. A bear likely doesn't have a cabin that they're going to lock me in for the remainder of my life and torture me.
Okay.
If I'm going to die, I'd rather just, boom, eat me. At least it's for living, right?
Okay.
I'm not just about to be tortured for my body.
Okay.
And I feel like you can sometimes escape a bear.
Okay.
Because I could be like, oh, silly, stupid bear, there's a rock, and I run. I can't do that to a man as much as you think you can.
Okay. I understand that thought process.
Yes.
But I think you're also discounting or discrediting the fact that there is also a chance, at least, that the man doesn't attack.
But But
I'd say in reality, there's probably a 40 to 60 chance that the man doesn't attack. Even if you want to treat men terribly or talk about men terribly.
First of all, how many men have killed women and how many bears have killed women?
Yeah, I don't know if those metrics actually match up.
Let me tell you what, you don't get to answer the question because
you posed the question on the page, so man or bear
page
on our screen right now.
What if the man saves me from the bear? Probably not. I'd probably throw me in front of the bear so he can save himself.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and argue the hypothetical.
Sonali's right. I did see this too. I chose the bear because if it attacks, I don't have to carry its fetus full term in 24 states.
I get it. I get the joke.
Yeah, I don't.
So this was something I guess that a lot of people were asking on TikTok.
Just everywhere. I was on Twitter and I just saw people tweeting, I choose the bear. And I was like, what is happening?
Let's see. According to Lisa, the 750,000 black bears in North America kill less than one person a year on average, while men ages 18 to 24 are 167 times more likely to kill someone than a black bear. Okay, but you got to tell me how many men in America there are ages 18 to 24. It's probably way more than 750,000. So all I'm saying is mathematically you can't just eliminate one of the factors, which is the amount of men.
You can't eliminate.
And their close proximity to women.
But
if women were hanging out with all 750,000 black bears, I'm sure there'd be way less dead women.
I don't know. Also, there is a 0% chance that bear is going to lock me in his cabin and torture me.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Can't argue that.
There's probably a 20% chance.
It could drag you back to its cave or wherever it sleeps.
But it's probably hungry. And it's going to eat me immediately.
Yeah, but it could eat you in pieces.
Ugh.
Like it could.
It's always going to go head first because you're going to be screaming. It's like, shut up.
Maybe. Also, there are more than just black bears, which actually helps the bears case. Right? Because you're adding
grizzly.
way more bears and not that many deaths. Right? If you add all the grizzly bears, all the brown bears, all the polar bears. Thank you, DJ Synth.
Yeah, I don't know. The polar bears are like scary looking, but they're hungry and they're dying.
Pandas, but if you get attacked by a panda in America specifically, you did something wrong because they're in a zoo.
I climbed into their pit.
Right, you Harambe'd yourself.
No.
What?
That poor guy.
Poor Harambe. Listen, everyone felt bad for Harambe.
Didn't he take a baby? What was it?
Yeah, so a kid got into Harambe's enclosure.
I think.
And then Harambe was acting aggressively, but they think there's a theory that Harambe was trying to protect the kid because everyone started screaming and scared the ape or gorilla. And I don't know, but they shot him.
That was our first few months on the radio.
Yeah.
And it was just Harambe everywhere. We're like, what is happening?
Angela said, a man in the woods alone, I definitely don't want. Yeah, that's true. I guess if you are in the woods alone, the bear's supposed to be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
that's not what you said.
If you were alone in the woods, who would you rather?
But you never mentioned the fact that the guy's also not supposed to be in the woods alone. Although I guess why shouldn't he? What if he was just on a hike? What if he was camping?
What if I'm on a hike alone?
Okay.
It's not like
why
does
that man not get to hike alone?
He can hike alone, but
oh man. Oh, this is a good counterpoint to the man versus bear argument. If you get locked up in a cabin, you do have a chance to escape and fight back. You are not fighting a bear.
But have you watched, what is the documentary, the true story about the woman locked in the cabin?
I don't know.
God, what is it called? He blindfolded her.
This is exactly why I avoid women. They'd get us both killed by a bear. R.I.P. Harambe. That was at the Cincinnati Zoo, from what I remember. Yes, Carthamer.
AMS Anna Marie brings up a good point. They said there's a whole podcast called Park Predators about men who kill people. It's not just men, just people in general, but it is normally men who kill people in national parks and forests. I have listened to every single episode of that podcast.
You know, we talk about a lot. We talk a lot about equality, representation, all of that stuff. I think we need more female serial killers to get caught, at least.
That's the thing.
They're out there. They're just probably better at
they are
not getting caught.
Okay, so The docuseries, really quickly, that I was talking about, it's a true story. It's called American Nightmare. I highly recommend watching it.
And what is this about?
We didn't talk about this on here. It was early 2000s-ish, and this guy went into a boyfriend and girlfriend's home and, like, confuses the hell out of them, like, flashes a bunch of lights and makes it look like there's a lot of people. He's like, don't touch anything, get on the ground, put these blindfolds on, and then he, like, I don't know, handcuffs them and tells the guy, I'm taking her, you do not call the police, I will murder her, I have a camera. And he does put a camera in their house, takes her, so she's gone for X amount of days. By the time he comes to, because he drugs them, he calls the police don't believe him, they think he kidnapped her, the own boyfriend. Then they think she's doing this, like, Gone Girl style, because it was right when Gone Girl
like
came out. Faking it. All this while, she's being, I don't want to, there's word, I'm trying to figure out how to say words without saying them. But anyway, she's in a cabin, holed up for days with this guy, and she, like, it's insane. And then he releases her, and then no one believes her. Still, the police don't believe her until however much long later they find out he does this to all these women, and another cop figures it all out and is like, how does this police station still have anyone working there? What they just did to this boyfriend and girlfriend. Spoiler alert, but it's really fascinating to watch.
Run Like a Husky says, female sociopathic narcissists are just statistically less common.
But also,
and I guess those are two of the traits you need to become a serial killer.
Lorena Bobbit.
Yeah, but she wasn't a serial killer. Wasn't her husband also abusive and she, like, chopped it off because of that?
It seems fair to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if that's, I don't know the full story. I was very young when the whole Lorena Bobbit thing was, like, in the headlines. So, you know what's crazy is Lorena Bobbit,
if that was today,
when she, if you're not familiar, cut off her husband's wiener. And again, I think there was some backstory to that, like he was maybe abusive or something beforehand, and that's how she got her retaliation.
Didn't she throw it out
I'm seeing a couple things in here.
She's a TV personality now?
I'm seeing wasn't it self-defense? She had a mental breakdown. Anyway.
Wasn't she the one that drove in the diaper?
The reason I'm bringing that up now, or continuing this, is a story like that used to take over the news cycle for, like, weeks.
Yeah, now you...
Right? I feel like there's so much going on now that a story like that, and we're so connected. It's not that things weren't going on then. It's just we weren't as interconnected as we are now, so people weren't getting all the news in the world all at the same time on their device, right? But
I'm going to prove you right, though. That's so... that it's crazy that story is so in our heads.
Yeah.
What year do you think that happened?
96?
93.
93? Oh, wow.
I was 5. Why do I know this?
Elementary school?
Why do I know this?
Because it was on the news all the time. And if you were
Someone
like
told me at 5?
Did you get, did your parents drive you to work? Did you walk, bus? Or not work, school, sorry.
Yeah, but it was literally a 30-second drive.
So I used to live in Clifton, New Jersey. And for 2 years before I moved to Ridgewood, I'd go to Ridgewood schools.
Illegally?
Kind of. We used my grandmother's address.
Illegal.
And my dad would listen to 1010 Wins every single day driving me to school. And it got to a point, I guess when I was a kid, I don't remember this, but my mom had to tell my dad to stop listening to the news because I wouldn't go to sleep because I was so... I guess
scared of Lorena Bobbit.
Well, there was a story, I think, about them mentioning someone dying in their sleep on the news. And I just, like...
Yeah, but that's the way to go.
But as a kid, I was like, well, I don't want to go to sleep. I'm going to die in my sleep. Something along those lines.
So then you started listening to phone taps.
But because my dad would listen to 1010 News 1010 Wins all the time, I think that's when I got that Lorena Bobbit story stuck in my head. Because I'm sure they talked about it every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
For our 40-minute drive.
We'll give you the world. What is it?
You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
So I guess that's basically what we do now.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Lorena Bobbit story, quick breakdown is their relationship, Lorena and her husband, became well known in 1993 when, after claims of years of rape and abuse by her husband, Lorena cut off his penis with a knife while he was asleep in bed. It was surgically reattached.
So does it work?
I don't know.
I feel like he may have done an adult film afterwards.
9-hour surgery, was able to successfully reattach and return it to normal function.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Scotty said, yes, he did a porn. That's true. Like, why do I remember that?
But is he dead?
Oh, I don't know. No. Why do I, as a child who took in that news, remember that?
There's like a Nicki Minaj song I was listening to recently.
Uh-huh.
Is it Nicki Minaj? She like raps about Lorena Bobbit. I'm gonna Lorena Bobbit something. I was like, oh.
My question that I've had ever since this story broke when I was in elementary school, that must, first off, he had to be sleeping naked.
Yeah, because.
Right? Like, I feel like you'd wake up if that was happening to you. He must have been sleeping naked, and it must have been a very sharp, like a one chop.
Like a machete.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I'm butter and knifing it.
Oh, man. I just want to point out that Fred, Scotty, and Chris came in here saying, yes, Bobbit did porn afterwards, which leads me to believe they all watched it at the same time.
Together.
Maybe not together, but from where Scotty was in Massachusetts at that time, maybe? Right, Scotty?
I don't know where people lived in the 90s.
I don't know. I'm assuming Chris and Fred were in their respective states that they're still in. Vermont. See, I was close. I was in New England. Scotty bought the popcorn. Oh, man. Yeah, so she was being abused by her boyfriend. So I guess, like, no one really had pity for the guy.
No.
But
like
every guy hears that story and does the, you're like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah, okay. You get one story.
But you know what?
And we get all the other ones.
But you know what? If that's what you were doing beforehand, you maybe deserved it.
And now if that was common, right? Like men getting their weens chopped off.
Yeah.
Every time you came across a woman in the woods, would you rather come across a woman or a bear?
I'd still wish it was the woman, not the bear. Because pretty sure I can run away from her.
I don't know. Not if it's this story where they're getting them chopped off every time.
You'd have to catch me first. That's the problem. Now, if I was still hobbling from my torn Achilles, bear. 100% bear.
Jordan and Puyallup said, I remember the cops responding to the Lorena Bobbit situation.
Yeah.
Talking about finding his penis. When they found it, no one wanted to touch it.
It probably looks like a weird slug.
A gooey duck.
Yeah.
Bloody gooey
That's
duck.
gross.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Morning.
Man or bear, we are moving on to stash life.
Just
yes,
like to
Carter
say,
Murray.
your brother Justin said, I agree with women saying they'd rather face a bear.
Okay. I understand all the ideas behind it. I still think statistically, you at least have a chance.
I think you don't understand. You have a chance with a bear. You throw
What's
a
your
twig
chance?
and you go up a tree. And hopefully he doesn't climb up after you.
I was going to say, they climb trees like well. Oftentimes they're found in trees. So, and again, I'm not saying all of the fears of being alone with a strange man in the woods are not valid. I'm just saying there's also a chance that that's a normal guy who's also maybe lost in the same forest that you are. Why are you in the forest to begin with alone?
I don't know, disoriented.
Maybe he's disoriented. The last thing you want is a disoriented bear, though. That thing's coming after you.
Coming out of hibernation?
Yeah.
That would be my luck. I'd be with a serial killer man and a bear coming out of his cave.
Yeah, you never want to see a skinny bear because that bear is ready to eat. What if once you see a fat bear, they just want berries and stuff. They're fine.
I'll pet him.
I mean, I would
love to pet a bear.
I'm sure there's a place
Not in a zoo.
I'm sure there's a place you could do that. I see this guy's videos all the time online. He like hugs his bear. He's like a bear trainer.
But why are we training bears?
For movies and stuff.
I don't believe in it. We have CGI.
Good call. What if it's Channing Tatum or a bear in the woods?
Well, Channing Tatum.
Or a guy who looks like Channing Tatum.
I'd rather be with Channing Tatum. But what if he's a serial killer and he wants to cut off my boobs?
Nelly said if you don't bother a bear, it probably won't bother you. That's also true. What if it's Cocaine Bear, like Lenny says?
I don't know.
All right, we're going to move on from the
But if you don't bother a man, they still bother you. So.
That's true. If you don't bother women, they also still bother you, for the record. I just want to throw that out there. Stash life.
Okay.
So I've been in this this disguise now for 2 full days.
And how does it feel like going out in public looking like that?
I forget. The only place I've really been though is the gym.
Well, okay, the gym people know you. When you
Yes.
walk around, like, I don't know, anywhere else,
Yeah.
do you feel like the general public that doesn't know your face is like, look at that guy?
They probably wish they were looking at a bear instead than a man with a mustache. It's been interesting. I cleaned it up a little more yesterday. I felt like it was a little too long.
It was looking a little broomish, like
Yeah.
the guy from Chuck E. Cheese.
So I cleaned it up. My upper lip is showing a little bit now. And then I'm not going to clean it up anymore until I go see my barber, Miles,
Okay.
because I want him to, like,
So we're going to keep
even
this
it out maybe.
till Miles.
I think
should
I'm going to
do-
keep it for
what's
like 2 weeks.
What's the middle one?
I'm not going with a Hitler stash.
All right.
Yeah, there are two things I don't want to look like. I don't want to look like
Stalin or Hitler?
the bad guy from Pink Panther with like the really thin like
Okay.
French mustache,
Yeah.
French or Italian, and I don't want to look like Hitler.
That's fair.
Those are two bad looks. And that's the crazy thing about Hitler is you think about how bad that man was. He took a whole facial hair style and a name, both. They're gone.
Yeah, can't do it.
No one's naming their kids Adolf anymore.
Well,
It was like a relatively common name back in the day.
I'll be honest though, even if I can remove him from my brain, it's not like a nice name. It's like, mean.
But that's because you're thinking of the man.
No,
and
it's
the
not
mustache,
pretty.
no one's wearing those things anymore. When was the last time you saw someone with literally a Hitler stash? That's what we know it as.
We have to pause the conversation for a quick moment. We will get back to your mustache.
Okay.
Rain got their GED.
Hey, congratulations. We're just pressing a bunch of buttons. There we go.
Yay, Rain! Okay.
There we go. Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's awesome. I bet you if I had to take whatever test that is for your GED, like right now, hand
The
this to me, I'd
GED
fail.
is the test.
No, but like, don't you have to study for it, like the SAT?
Well, yeah. You're supposed to study for it.
I think I'd fail it.
How long? Rain, how long is the test? Maybe it's something we could take or take like a section of it.
Yeah.
Let's see
a
how we would
practice
do.
one. Jess from Minnesota, formerly of German, said someone in her family's middle name was Adolf, but that side of the family is questionable.
But again,
grandpa's middle name.
But your grandpa was also born probably right before that name was like widely hated.
Also, according to your brother Justin, he had to have that mustache based off of German hair rules.
Because of their gas masks or something.
So then don't just shave it.
But that was, I think, when he was in the army during World War I. By the time World War II hit and he was wildly famous, he probably could have had a regular mustache.
But at that point,
Unless he
branding.
kept it to be like, I was one of the soldiers.
Mm.
Look at me. I'm one of the people or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, he was born in 1942. So you think right after he was born is really when that man became infamous. So you can't really blame your grandfather or your great grandparents for a name because it was it was normal at the time.
Yeah.
Like we don't have anyone, thankfully, since then that's been that terrible that you can't even share a name with them.
Lorena.
I'm not saying we should have someone that terrible.
Lorena Bobbit. No.
Like, people can still be named Donald, right? I know a lot of people don't like
Yeah,
Trump.
but I immediately think duck.
There's also that. If there was an Adolf Duck, maybe it would be different. Maybe it'd be different.
No, but I'm not naming my kid Donald because Donald Duck.
But I'm saying, the duck makes the name sting less. And granted, and I don't want to even if you don't like Donald Trump, you can't really compare him to Hitler. Like, there's
Okay,
there's
but people that don't like Joe Biden, you're not going to name your kid Joseph anymore.
But
That's
exactly.
like the name.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't have a person that's bad enough today, thankfully. Even Stalin,
Yet.
people still name their kids Joseph. But that's
true, I
because he's
forgot
not
about
really we just call him Stalin. He's kind of like Cher,
Carla Murray.
you know? The nickname OJ has disappeared. That's actually, we did have, I had a teammate at Seton Hall who we called OJ. Because not only was he very fast, his name was, I want to say his name was Obra something Jr.
Oh.
So he went by OJ. We had OJ and QB, two of the fastest people in the world at that time. At that point in time, were my
On your
teammates.
team?
Yeah,
Why didn't they go anywhere else?
they did. What do you mean? Oh, why didn't they go to like a different school?
Yeah.
Because Seton Hall had a really good track program.
Better than like, did they go to the Olympics?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had OJ was on the Olympic trials or went to Olympic trials. I don't think he made it because only
But you said
400
he was
runners.
the fastest in the world. Why didn't
He was
he make
one of the fastest people in the
Oh.
world.
You said he was.
And it also
the
wasn't
fastest.
an Olympic year that year.
Well, imagine being the fastest person in the world, not an Olympic year.
It sucks. The timing sucks. But he raced like Jeremy Warner when he was in the Olympics, when that Baylor team was really good. My teammates raced them like head to head. And I think he actually may have beat Jeremy Warner. But
That's wild. Okay, let's go back to the mustache life instead of talking about.
oh,
murderers.
Osama and Hussein are names that many Muslims won't use anymore, says Sunali. But those were like Hussein is still a very popular last name.
Yes.
And Osama, there are still people. I mean, I'm sure it's less than it was before, especially if you're born in America. You're probably not naming your kid Osama.
Yeah.
Okay, moving.
No, I
on.
would like to know about.
Oh, my mustache life. It's been pretty good. The only thing I don't like is when I like my profile, my lip sticks out now so far that it looks like I don't really have a strong chin.
I don't know that you have a strong chin.
I have a pretty good chin.
You have a strong nose.
I have a strong nose,
You can't have
jawline.
both.
Got a strong jaw.
You do have a strong jaw.
Yeah.
But you should gua sha.
I don't even know her. What is?
It's that like tool that you put on your moisturizer. I'm gonna do it, and you like do this, and it basically is a, I don't know, face massage kind of for your face muscles. So hard to say, and you like lymphatic drainage, and it structures your face better. I'm gonna do that instead of Botox.
Gua sha. How long does this process take?
I don't know,
And how often do you have to do it? Every day?
probably,
Yeah, no thanks.
but you should do it. You'll get a strong chin. It gets rid of any jaw. Gets rid of like anything here.
Gua sha.
GUASH.
Does anyone know what a gua sha is?
Yes, they do.
I bet you no one here knows what that is. Where's it from? Like, where do they start
think-
guashing?
I want to say it's Japan or Korean beauty.
Okay. I do feel like Ned Flanders, Lenny.
Okay. So anyway, what?
That's a silly bet, Anthony. Yeah, but anyone can say, yeah, I know what it is.
No, it's all over
I
our
don't
TikToks.
believe any of you. All liars. Everyone's just here to support women supporting women. Blah, blah, blah. Washington.
Okay, how do like when people see you?
Oh, Florida Kim says she has one. So it's a tool. Is the gua sha the tool, the process, or both?
The tool.
What is the process called?
Gua sha-ing. I'm going to gua sha my face.
It's a triangle tool, and you did not get the tool yet?
No, but Fred the mailman said gua sha is what my grandma calls a washing machine. Sawyer said,
All right.
I think it's China, and my whole YouTube algorithm is gua sha. But for back relief,
Oh. So you can gua sha like whatever part of your
Okay,
body you
something.
want?
I don't know. It's just small.
Okay.
Okay.
Wendy, I'm with you on that island.
So you went to the gym, LA Fitness in Ballard,
Yeah.
and a lot of people there.
It was a hit. I got a lot of laughs.
I heard a lot of screaming.
And let's see. I had people saying that now they have to call me Tony
I can see that.
because I look like an Italian Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah. I also, because a lot of them know that I am Middle Eastern, a lot of them said they expected me to open a falafel stand. Which, I mean, I got the look. I'm
I
I'm
didn't
ready
ask
for
you.
that.
There's a guy at the gym. He has a red mustache. Did he talk to you?
He did not know
Is he mad?
that he's got a mustache, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You were standing next to each other at one point yesterday.
But I don't know that guy.
Oh, I thought now like you do.
Just because we have mustache.
Is there like a group you have to go to once a week?
Oh man. Yeah, it's been interesting. I don't know if I like it. I don't think I hate it as much as I thought I would hate it.
I'm fair. I'm with that. At first, I was very shocked.
Yeah.
But
Like, and maybe because I've seen my dad with a mustache for so long, and we do look alike.
It's insane, actually.
So
Can we?
I kind of got to see what I looked like before I had the mustache, if that makes sense.
Is there a way for me to put the photos on there that your mom sent me?
You could email it. It's going to take a second to put it together.
I think the people need to see how much you look like your dad. Although my sister did say when I sent it to my family, because we were talking about your mustache, my sister said, "Is that Anthony's dad or our dad?" And I was like, it is insane how much they actually do look alike in the 90s. And I don't want to talk about the fact that our ancestors probably crossed each other somewhere in the Mediterranean.
Probably.
So we're related, probably.
Let's see. Open up. You're emailing it?
Yeah. I don't know why Gmail makes everything so difficult. Everything.
Yeah. Now we got to wait.
But our dads had like the coif hair, right?
It was- I mean,
it
they
was
were all-
shaped different.
They were in New Jersey,
But
with New Jersey styles at the same time.
But it's crazy how their hair was just shaped different.
And every...
Oh, no, wait, not here.
And most Middle Easterners, especially people from the Middle East who were Christian that moved to New Jersey, all tried to look Italian, like, very early on. And then everyone was going for, like, the Scarface look, the Al Pacino in Scarface look, too.
Okay.
Suits with, like, the buttons open to the third button, collar over the shirt
My
collar
dad
over the
still
suit
does,
collar.
basically.
Yeah, all of that stuff. I'm still not seeing the picture here.
I just sent it.
Well, this is the internet. It should be instant.
It's there.
There it is.
All right, so you're going to keep the mustache until Miles can fix it.
I'm definitely not going to Florida with the mustache.
Okay, why not?
I don't know. I feel like I want to
You should tan the face.
be on my A game when I'm down there. You know, I don't need a mustache.
What?
Yeah.
You should also use sunblock more often now because a lot more of your face is
That's true. All right, let's see if I can get
Available.
this picture up here.
to be burnt.
I'll go boop, 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 boop. There it is.
That's what it looked like today? Wow, that's interesting.
It sure is. Okay, so now I can upload this image.
I look like I'm wearing a maternity outfit.
You woke up and chose maternity.
I don't even care anymore.
Here, I'll use this picture.
Maternity Mondays. It's Thursday.
Let me just size it real
Oh,
quick.
you got to do the family photo.
Huh?
The one with all of you. It's funny.
Well, I don't have
Permission?
permission. I also don't have permission to put my dad's face up here, but I am.
Yeah, but you don't need permission because it was the 90s.
It's also basically my face. So, okay, here we go. That's
You got
me
to
and my
tilt your
dad.
head to
What? This way?
the other way.
This way?
Yep. And do like a little silly smile. But
His mustache goes out further in that picture. than
much
mine
further.
does.
And in the other photo, he has like a little. It's almost like they're two separate things.
I wonder. Here, let me see the other photo. Now I gotta do this again. Hold on.
Can you keep that there?
I'm not gonna keep both of them up.
No, well, that one there while you're
Oh
doing
no, I can't do that. Let me put this one up now.
I think this one, he looks like such a dork. I think it's because he cut his hair. Just wait. This is the one, guys. He looks like he'd be in a 90s sitcom in this one.
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? R.I.P. Danny Tanner. What the hell is his name? Hello.
Bob Saget.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
You were so tan as a child.
Oh.
Oh.
There we go. Well, yeah, I didn't live in Seattle as a child, so I saw the sun more than once every 14 days.
So do you see like how in the middle he's got?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it looks like it was just too long, and he had to, like, make some way for his upper lip.
Just in the middle.
Well, because that's where it would part, right? To go to the side.
That is giving pizza guy from Chuck E. Cheese.
All right, we are going to take our quick
Oh.
break here. I feel like we were supposed to take it a while ago.
It didn't yell at us.
Have we been snoozing it? All right, here we go. Okay.
Okay, I was thinking.
Yes. Well,
While
we're not really back yet. Give me a second, Carl.
While you have the mustache, I think we need to.
What?
I burped again. Excuse me. I want to order you a Freddie Mercury outfit.
Okay.
I think we do like one video where you like are Freddie Mercury and it's like plays a Queen song. And you're like, "Ba-da," and then you're Ned Flanders. I don't know what we do for that. Then
Ned Flanders, I'd have to wear a green sweater with a button down under it.
Then you're Burt Reynolds, and I can be one of the angels. Isn't he Charlie or something? Oh no, he's in Charlie's
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know exactly who Burt Reynolds is. I don't think I've ever watched an actual Burt Reynolds movie.
Who else do you look like we could do?
Anyone with a mustache?
But I think you just got to be a cop, put on some aviators. So I want to do a cute little like Halloween thing. I think it'd be fun.
Let's see.
And then people can vote.
Tones Lasso, get a tracksuit and be Ted Lasso. I feel like he had I don't know if I'm dark or my hair's dark enough, or my hair's too dark, I should say, to be Ted Lasso.
Yeah, you're fine.
Magnum PI. Duh, I didn't know he was in that.
Stefan at the gym.
Yes.
Told me it looked like you were just going to go into a forest and start telling people to put out forest fires.
Like a park ranger?
Or Smokey.
All right. Yeah, what if you saw, I guess, seeing Smokey Bear?
I would feel very safe.
Yeah.
Unless that means there's a fire coming.
Then you're screwed.
Still would probably rather outrun a fire than a man.
You know Smokey Bear became the mascot because he was a bear that was basically like on fire in a forest fire.
Stop it.
They found him afterwards. He was alive and they like rehabbed him. But he was like clinging to it.
But he was smoking?
He was smoky because there was a fire. And
they were probably like, oh, we found that Smokey Bear. And then it just went Smokey Bear.
Right, because it's not Smokey the Bear.
No.
It's Smokey
That's
Bear.
Mandela.
Is his...
Mandela
you know what my Roman Empire is? The Mandela effect isn't real.
That's a Mandela effect,
No,
I bet.
the Mandela effect is just people saying they remember things the wrong way. That's it. We've come up with a name for it. And somehow blamed Nelson Mandela for it. All right. What do you wish you asked?
I saw this on Reddit, and it was, what do you wish you asked during your job interview? So, like, at your current job, what do you wish you asked in the job interview?
To my employer?
Yeah, to your future employer. Like, let's go back in time. What is the question you wish?
I wish I would have asked, do you think you'll ever fuck me over so bad that you make me take 2 weeks of unpaid vacation right before you fire me, steal all of my ideas, my hard work, and my co-hosts to give to someone else? I wish I asked that one specific question. It would have made the rest of my time there a lot easier.
Yeah, do you think you'll let me go in the middle of a global pandemic?
Yeah.
I don't know, because to be honest, we did ask so many questions that were all answered and then just we were lied to.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, is this whole thing pointless? But I think it would be fun to see everyone's answers, because then everyone can use that to their next interview.
I think what it really comes down to in job interviews and asking questions is honest, and this is going to sound messed up at first. Don't trust anything.
No.
If there is a contract involved, make sure it's all in the contract, because they can tell you whatever they want.
Yeah, but our stuff was even in the contract and they didn't.
Some of it was. The one part that was in our contract that we got screwed over was in our contract, and this was actually a piece of advice that Nate gave to us before we left Elvis's show. He said, they're going to promise you that they're going to get you a producer, and then they're going to drag their feet, and they're never going to hire someone, and they're going to say, oh, you guys are doing such a good job on your own. Why do you need a producer? Which they tried. So he told us, he said, make sure in your contract, it is guaranteed that you have a producer during your time there. So we said, okay. And they said, yes, we signed it. And then right before the pandemic in 2020, January of 2020, iHeart had massive layoffs. And they basically, outside of New York, LA, and Chicago, fired every producer in the company, which is when Gordon was let go.
And my parents were flying in that day. I remember I had to pick from the airport and be like, my life is in shambles right now. Sorry.
And we had no idea that was happening. It's not like they came to us the day before and said, hey, that we knew after he did.
Someone was letting him go, And then they came to tell us as it was happening.
Yeah. I'll never forget. I was right after our show would end. I'd usually go get a sandwich from our cafe downstairs, and I'd sit in our office, and I'd have like 15 to 20 minutes to just decompress. Everyone did. You could go do whatever you wanted. And our boss, Rich, came in, and he looked like kind of panicked. He said, "Hey, are you guys done with your show?" I said, "Yeah, we're done. Is everything okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, all good." And they walked away. And I went, "Okay, that was fucking weird. I'll just go back to eating my sandwich." Ate my sandwich, go back to the studio, and by the time I had eaten my sandwich and got back, they already walked Gordon out. And that was it. And I remember walking in, and I think it was Alabama. And Evan were in there. And they looked like they had just seen a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea what happened. And then they told me, obviously.
I think I was with them. I don't know. Yeah, it was.
So, but all that to say, they did technically violate the contract.
But they said it's not that big of a deal.
So we brought it up multiple times. And our program director, Jared, actually brought it up to one of the big bosses and said, "Guys, this is in their contract. You can't really do this." And
But, okay, if you're going to do that, now you need to let us hire someone else. But it didn't matter because they were like, well, the company is in a hiring freeze. Yeah. So this part of your contract is null and void. And
then they said, well, you have to prove it in court
that
this not only violates your contract, but there was we would have to go through, hire a lawyer, and show them in court or to an arbitrator or something that their firing of our producer caused a monetary impact or something, and it just got to a point.
It caused a mental health impact.
It caused a lot of stuff. But basically they said, okay, yeah, we broke your contract. Go lawyer up. You can't afford it. You can't afford to fight us in court is basically what they said.
Your brother Justin said, if it's not in the contract, it isn't real. The contract is the only thing that matters. Don't care about offending the other party because you want to change things or clarify terms. The only thing that matters is the thing you sign. Yeah. I do want to get back to the question.
And I do say, the one thing that Justin said in there, who is a lawyer, this isn't legal advice that he's giving you. Right. This is just personal advice. The one thing I think people do always think when they're going through contract issues, especially if it's a company where you've been there and you know the people well, or you care about them, you start feeling bad, right? Or they'll guilt you. They'll use that connection to guilt you into not putting things in your contract, which didn't happen to us.
We would never do that.
Why would... Guys, we love you. Why would we want to do that to you?
We would never not let you keep your podcast.
Yeah. So it sucks, and they're going to make you feel like a bad person when you are in that contract negotiation period. But all you really have to say is,
I am one person protecting myself against a giant company.
Yeah, I'm just doing this to protect myself, and it makes our lives easier if everything is written down. And that's it. Right? All the promises that we make to one another.
Learned our lesson, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, but I did see Becky ask a great question. Mm-hmm. Something she wished she asked in a job interview was, how often do you give raises?
That's a good one.
As a company, what's your average?
Yeah.
How often are we doing this? Obviously, it's case by case. But
it is, of course. But you at least know going into it.
And if they say, oh, we haven't done that in a few years.
Which, listen, some places will have it built into their contract. Some places do performance reviews. It's all different, like you said, but it is a good question to ask when it comes to raises. But that's also something that if you were signing a contract, you can try to put that in there. Every year I get at least an inflation rate bonus or raise.
Jess from Minnesota said, I'm always amazed at how many jobs in the U.S. do not have proper contracts. In Germany, even retail jobs come with full-blown contracts.
And part of that is because our corporations here have so much power, and they've strong-armed everyone from their customers to their employees to the government. We have let them become too big. And I say we because we are part of the problem. Yep. Right? Where we spend our money is important. And sometimes we've gotten to a point now where we spend our money almost doesn't matter because it's almost impossible to avoid some of the companies that need to be brought down a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, look, we took down Express by accident.
That's because they were run poorly.
Another point with contracts, I love that your brother said this. I want to put it on a t-shirt. Better to be an asshole for a day than a chump for life.
Yeah. Jilly Bean, 82, said, super late today, so this may have been said. I worked as an HR director for 18 years. I always ask what their employees would say about them and what their boss would say about them.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. But are they going to be honest is the question.
Because they're like, they would say, I'm so great.
They'd say, I'm strong but kind. That's what every I make some tough decisions, but I'm kind, is what every guy that I've worked with would probably say. It's like, no, you're just an asshole. Sorry, buddy.
They would say, I'm a little hard on them, but...
Made by Erica said I would ask them to pull up Glassdoor and explain themselves. That's funny. Glassdoor is a site, I know what it is. It's like where you have to somehow prove that you worked with a company. You can rate and review
exposed.
It. For what?
All their stuff got randomly. It started putting everyone's, because it's anonymous.
Yeah.
But something happened like a month and a half ago where it put everyone's actual names.
Ooh, that's rough.
And then I had to remind, I think I did post on there.
Oh, this is a good one. Life is a hike. And I don't know how you would phrase this question to an employer without making it look like you don't want to do more work, which then screws you over. Life is a hike said, I wish I asked if I get responsibilities outside of my job title.
Ooh!
Would I get properly compensated? But basically, how do we, I guess you would ask it in a way where you say something but you'd say something along the lines of, as my role expands and it starts to include more tasks or whatever, how do we adjust that in terms of compensation? Something along those
Nolly
lines.
said, I always ask why that position is open.
That's a good one.
Well, the last person died here.
Yeah, we killed them because they asked for a better contract.
Liz from Gettysburg said they always say, we're really like family here.
Everyone.
And then, great point, Jill, I wouldn't want to work with my family.
Just say, well, I have a family.
Yeah.
I'm here for a job. I have a family and they don't pay me.
And they drive me nuts.
Although I did work for my dad for a while, so I guess my family did pay me for some portion of my life.
Yeah, I've worked for my brother.
Let's see.
Oh, Lisa, I saw what my friend went through over the summer with trying to get a contract. She's a nurse at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital and was on strike for almost 6 months, but their union fought for safe staffing and they ultimately got it.
Man, it has been a time, I'd say the last 2, maybe 3 years for unions. I feel like they're back on the map.
And listen, former union workers right here, and then went to being non-union, and I loved the union life.
Can I tell you why I feel bad sometimes saying I was a former union worker?
Yeah. Because you have a mustache now, and you really look like you left your brothers hanging on not literally hanging, but like they're construction workers, and you left them.
No, I just feel like growing up in New York and New Jersey, at least, you're used to all of like the labor-intensive unions. Right? There's like the electricians union and there's like the steel workers union and all of these different unions. And I was just like, I have to be like, I was in a radio union.
Okay, well, to be fair though, when it was just AFTRA, which was like it was just radio and TV, it was like, no one knew who we were. But when we became SAG-AFTRA, we joined with actors like me and Jenny Aniston. We're in the same union.
I grew up feeling like union workers were people who worked with their hands, right? Who like built America. And I'm like, nah, I'm in a union too, and I make fart jokes. I have soft hands and make fart jokes.
But I'm telling you, the protection that union gave us was worth every damn penny to join.
Yes. And I think people are seeing that now. People are seeing that these companies will not protect you. And it's not, and I will take the company's side for a moment. It's not their job.
No.
Their job is to make money, right? Your job as an employee is to protect yourself and protect your fellow employees, and that's what unions are there for.
There's something I was going to say about unions. I'll notice that when there's a lot of social media marketing companies reaching out to me, and we get into the process of like, okay, we want to hire you, like for this job, whatever it is. And one of the things they say to me, are you in a union or were you recently in a union? And I want to know about that because is there a social union I don't know about?
I'm sure there will be at some point.
That's gonna be an issue.
Well, no, it'll. I think there will still be people who can work outside of that union.
I will say because I think a lot of a lot of social media influencers are now represented by talent agencies.
Yeah.
And then once you get into that world, you can be represented by a union because you are if you're in a commercial on TV, you're normally in a union. So if I'm creating my own commercial for social media, and then that brand is then using it as a commercial on all their platforms, am I technically could I be in a union?
Yeah, I don't know when that'll happen for social media, like influencers or personalities or whatever. I think it will at some point. Right now, it's still kind of the Wild West where I don't think anyone is seeing the benefit for themselves. And the social media world is a very me world, right? You don't think about your other social media influencers getting better contracts to then help you.
Right, because a lot of times in the world, people are like, oh, I'll do it for this amount, and then it screws everyone because that person chose a smaller amount.
Which is what happens in radio.
And
outside of union stations, people are just undercutting their coworkers to get a couple extra pennies, and that at the end of the day, the only people that helps are the advertisers in the company.
Jordan Puyallup said, I would love to ask, so during a job interview, I would love to ask, when discussing an employee's future, at what point will you include said employee, or do you make the decision for them?
That's a good one. And I didn't realize that happened in so many other industries where they'll literally have meetings about your future.
Yo, bro.
Without including the person who they're talking about. And that doesn't mean they're having meetings about giving people a raise or a promotion. That means they can say, oh, well, we'll just send so-and-so to this market, and we'll make them the manager there. And it's like, what?
There is something I want to say about that, but Monica actually said, I do some HR for my company, and I always tell people HR is for the company, not the employee.
Absolutely. Why would a company create a department that was against their best interest?
Right.
They wouldn't.
No.
So HR is there to make sure that the company doesn't get sued.
One of the conversations that happened behind our backs about you talking about our future or anyone's future, there was a conversation that when they didn't know what to do with us in between when they were blowing up all these radio stations, one of the things was they were debating splitting us up and sending us to work on different shows.
Yeah, in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this isn't saying these are two people they just moved from.
Not just. It was 2 years at that point.
2 years into it. Moved from New York to Seattle. And I think they were going to send you to Chicago. Possibly. I think it was the Fred show thing.
I don't know. I don't.
And then I forgot where they were going to send me. But it's crazy.
And I was like, politely, no.
What else do we have here? Mellow FM said an HR manager at Fox Broadcast Operations in Arizona didn't report several violations to corporate and is still there to my knowledge.
Okay, well, we don't know about.
I don't know anything about that store. I'm sure there's a very good chance it's true.
Okay, we need to discuss going to Japan because it's 9:05 here on the Pacific Northwest.
We'll do it on Monday. We'll talk about a possible Japan trip on Monday.
Have you talked about this yet?
No, not really.
I think you did.
Well, we'll see what happens. See you Monday. Don't forget there are new episodes of the Morning Show podcast. What? I was in the middle of talking. Sorry. What are you saying?
I didn't know we were literally going right now.
Could you please take us away, Carla Marie?
Okay, if you're going to the Seattle Reign game tomorrow, I'll see you there. I'm going to be on the field hosting in a blazer because I have to be fancy for soccer.
Remember when I told you that the social media influencer world was a very selfish place? No, this is really cool. And you're going to be the
on-field host.
On-field.
Like I do for Seahawks.
Oh, I thought you were doing now coming to the pitch.
In July. Now batting.
Okay.
Megan Rapinoe.
All right, well.
None of those things are true. There is a new episode of the Morning Show podcast. There will be another one tomorrow. There's a new episode of my boob podcast. So listen to that after the Morning Show podcast. I think I'm done.
Okay, bye.